Hey, how the hell is it going? It's Rich. Welcome back to the studio. New Fabriano sketchbook here. This thing is beautiful and it feels good. Um, the key to sketching is to pay attention to the pressure that you're putting on the pencil. You should have many, many light and quick lines. And I like using the pillow method for the torsos. Sometimes it's fun to go in and make the rib cage. It's a cool shape. I like doing that too, but typically only do that for practice nowadays. What the hell did I get to? There's the commercial. I got my computer behind me playing the music, so I have to keep rolling back whenever there's a commercial. So let's go in and just kind of figure out these shapes. So you have that head shape. Make it a little clearer for you guys. Get to the center line. Nose tends to fall on that line. Mouth is like halfway between the bottom of the head. And all you're doing to figure out the head size based on the circle, because it's not just a circle, you're adding about 25%. That's what I've heard some people say. 25%. You're not adding a whole lot. Center will be about the top of the eyes. See? And then the ears tend to go from the nose to the eyebrows. Rib cage tends to have this kind of shape too. It's a little thinner at the top and it gets wider right about here and kind of thins back up like that. And the collarbone kind of is shaped like that. Kind of it lines up with the top of the rib cage. So and plugs in to the shoulder socket, and everything kind of connects right there. So and you got the pelvis, which has a shape like that. It's hard to describe. It's like it has this V shape here, and some other part right here that comes out. And female pelvis is a totally different shape. Doesn't quite have this low point here like it does on dudes, but and then you'd have that extra long thigh bone really plugs in like all the way up here, I think. Maybe it plugs in right there. I think this part of the pelvis is like set back, and the pelvis plugs in like that, or the thigh bone plugs in right there. Yeah. So that's the pelvis. The thighs are, assuming that the legs are straight, kind of goes at like a slight angle. So it goes from like the outside of the thigh to the inside of the thigh. And it has that kind of weird shape to it. It's not even a weird shape, but it's how it's set. And it's better for structure and holding the weight of the body. So here's the outline of the leg. You got something like that. And then you have, let's see, you got one bone there. There's actually like two bones in the calf. They kind of do that thing. One bends like that, another one's like that. There's like a V there. Yeah, like that. Let me get back into the sketching. If I can eke out a win, it's gonna be a miracle. Jesus. Stupid ads. So I'd always kind of start off light, extend by 25%, doing a profile shot here. Basically split the circle in half. I don't like going super anime. My eyes tend to not be that big as they usually are in anime. But I like certain style choices. And my style tends to be like a combination of American comics and and manga. So that's what you're gonna get here. I always tend to do those 3 lines there. Doesn't necessarily have to be 3, but it kind of helps show volume and like the shape of the body. Because right up here you got the traps, the trapezius, and this just a little shadow there under the jaw, and you got the jugular, kind of plugs in right here. So the side goes right up under the ear and under the jaw. It's jugular. That trapezius, it's basically your neck muscle, and it kind of wraps around into the back like that. And overlapping, you would kind of have the shoulder there. You got the pecs on the front of the body. And then you got that bone, the shoulder bone that wraps around in the back. I think it's called the scapula. I might be totally wrong on that. It's still early in the morning. I'm only on my 2nd cup of coffee, guys. Come on. Who are your anime and manga influences? Let me know in the comments. Mine tend to be a little older. I do like a lot of new stuff, but just because I came up in the 90s and early 2000s, I really like Shinichiro Watanabe. And he created Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. Definitely Samurai Champloo style really got me. Even the music, as you can tell in the background with the lo-fi hip-hop, I feel like it was basically Samurai Champloo that created this entire genre of music. I'm so tired of these ads. So I'm using these Papermate pens. Let's see how this black one does. They're not terrible. Yeah, definitely not terrible. I don't think I would use this for like an actual inking piece, but it's definitely fun to mess around with, fun to sketch with. I was using them for a logo design for my wife's bakery, and it's fun. Good for getting concepts out. And quickly. I don't really want to invest in like Copic markers and stuff. That's not something I want to do. Copics can be really expensive, and there's some cheaper ones out there, but I just don't want to. I've got Photoshop. Mine's old as shit. It's Photoshop CS3, but still very useful. It's not like Photoshop ever goes out of date, you know. but the newer ones have new features and new functions. But I just use it to paint, so I don't really need to worry about all that new stuff so much. Let's see here. So what do we got going on? Let me show you guys basically the rib shape. So there's the rib cage, basically. And then
what's open? What's closed? What?
I'm just going to turn that off. I'm sick of hearing it. Let's go to another color here. So for the spine plugs into, maybe it won't be that far back, maybe closer like right up here. But it plugs into the back of the skull and does that S shape. So it's going like that. You got all the little pieces of the spine. And I'm not going to say it's important to know why it curves like that, but I know it's all about being load bearing. The same reason why the thigh bones go like that and come back out, and then plug in like that. It's all about being load bearing. It would have a tougher time if it was just straight, a greater chance of it just snapping, I guess. Not an engineer, but I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere. So yeah, you got that there. So yeah, and then right here, so it starts bending in right here, and that's because the ribs ending, and then you got the abs coming in and forming. Got that there. So you got like 3 abs and then a 4th set down there. There's something actually like right here. I don't remember if it's technically part of the abs or probably is, obviously, but you got all these other abdominal muscles, abtractors, something like that, abductors. Still not fully awake yet, guys, but we're getting there. Early in the morning. Got these markers in, I think it's, I don't know, Walmart set of markers. I'm kind of enjoying them, though. It's been a long time since I've messed around with markers in a sketchbook. Long time. These are paper made. This is pen gear. If I can find the pen gear. I don't know. Let's see here. So you got the skull and the shape of the skull here. It's actually kind of got this indent here and here. And now I'm remembering like a bunch of stuff from college about planes and the shape of the skull. It's actually like rather huge cavern there where the eyeball sits and got some ridges there, planes, yada yada yada. So that's actually all just one piece right there. And then you got the bottom jaw. Plugs in like that. Maybe I should zoom in. So you got this bottom jaw here, plugs in right up there. And this part all kind of indents and it's going to be in shadow. And then you got the teeth. You actually got like a cavern empty spot there. Empty spot there. Empty spot there. Because the actual bone in the nose really just stops right there, and that's why. Is it still kind of wet? That's interesting. I really like this Fabriano sketchbook. The paper is nice and thin, but the ink isn't bleeding through onto the next sheet. You can see it from the other side, but it's not bleeding through. This is really nice dotted paper from Fabriano. I don't know where you'd find it. I found it at Jerry's Artorama. It's a chain. It's not a very big chain though. I don't think they have them on the West Coast. But they got a few over here on the East Coast, northern East Coast. Let's straighten that up. But yeah. Let me show off this. So I did this sketch, posted this on Instagram too. If you guys aren't following me there, Art Rich Studio on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell for notifications and all that shit. If you guys are enjoying this video. But this is going to be bigger, better piece eventually, Batman versus Pitt. Yeah. Let's draw some. I really like drawing Pitt. He's fun. The chains are not fun, but I'm figuring those out. There's got to be a shortcut or some trick to it. Because I don't know how Dale Keown went and did that for like 20 issues. Meaning he's a professional, he's going to do what he has to do. But I would, no. There would just be a big fight and the chains get lost and that's it. End of the chains, they're gone. That's what I would do. But what am I doing here? Some arms up. So when drawing arms up, I feel like that needs to be shorter. The shoulders come up too. Everything kind of moves up a little bit. The neck is going to shorten up, if not totally disappear. I would actually just like shade it out. The bicep doesn't really go further than the head. Yep. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not a big talker, guys. I am just not. Let's see if that's. Let's have this guy being arrested. Eyes are going to kind of be down like that. So we got the shoulders here, right? And they kind of thin out on that top portion because these pecs plug in somewhere right around here. There's the tricep, bicep, pecs, shoulders, everything kind of wedges in together right around here. So these are all very loose sketch lines, and now I'm going to try to be more accurate with this inking and clean up and be more precise. I'm making a change to the stance here, kind of on the fly. He's going to have this leg kind of coming out more as he's walking. Let's say he's walking out to the cops. So like, come out, criminal. And he's like, all right, you caught me. So walking out, this leg's going to be jutting forward and overlapping this leg. Good way to think of this is that if this is his center line, I have a dotted paper here. Why can't I make a center? Just a simple straight line. All right, straight line. His head's here. Body's here. I want his legs that are both kind of coming out like that to fall on this line. Like let's say he's walking a tight line or something. So this leg is going to be overlapping. I feel like this is a bad example, but hopefully it's helping. So if you want both feet to be on that spot, one leg's going to have to be in front of the other one, basically. So I'm going to have that one overlapping that one, and that one going behind that one, basically. Right? Basically. That's what I'm trying to do here. This is obviously a quick sketch. I'm not too... Warm-ups, people, warm-ups. And I made that hip bone come out too much, I think. Let's give him a mohawk because they are funny. Boom. This one. All right. Got the ball of the shoulder rising up. And notice that if he was just standing normally with his arms down, the shoulder would probably be right down here. Right? It'd be right around there. The shoulder coming up, everything else gets squished right up in here. So I'm going to try to reflect that with the rib cage too. That's coming up. And possibly also a little tilted. So if it was a rectangle or a square shaped box, we'd actually be seeing a little bit of the underside. A little bit of the underside too. And that top part's kind of going back in space like that. You got the spine coming down and then pelvis. It was poking out there. Let's think about the muscles. So you got the pecs, It's very rare that I actually think about this in terms of the skeleton structure. I'm almost always thinking about the muscles, how the muscles are acting and behaving where they're at. Um, because you see the muscles, you see less of, bone indentation. So these thigh muscles, basically one going like that. We have an exterior one. Yep. Actually, I have another set right down here that nobody ever sees. Some exterior stuff there. So you got a little bit of the shoulder that you're seeing there. And you might actually see a little bit on the other side too. And the tricep. If you had a huge character like the Hulk or somebody, you would show a little bit there too. So you got those. You got rather large space here where you might have close to, you aren't going to have any muscle definition over there. You got that one, those two, and then eventually it'll lead up to the hand. And remember, using your head as the unit of measurement for the entire body, right? So the upper arm is roughly head length, head length. It's going to be probably super confusing with all these lines here, but hopefully not. And space is basically blank. You got one there. One there. Oh. You guys probably didn't see that. So yeah, using your head as the unit of measurement for the entire body. So you would take that, knowing the forearm is roughly a head length, or the forearm's roughly a head length, and the upper arm's roughly a head length. So that's why the elbow would be right about there if he was putting his arms up. So that's how I know that. Also, just look in a mirror. Use yourself as a reference. So look in a mirror or take a selfie. My best advice. A lot of professional comic book artists have little mirrors set up on their desks. They'll have like a clamp or suction cup to their metal or glass desk, art desks. I know Mark Silvestri is definitely one, and he kind of taught everybody at Top Cow Comics to have a mirror on their desk, and it helps with expressions and stuff, having it right there. And hands tends to be the stuff that you're referencing, most, or would have the most difficulty with. Those guys are just masters with like anatomy and bodies, but there's so much variation to expressions and faces and hands. That's where the majority of variation is going to happen. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys did, go ahead and hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. I don't know why. I feel like YouTube's nuked me recently. I used to get a lot of views, and lately I've been getting close to none. So it's weird. I don't know why it started happening. About a month ago, I got like 150 subscribers in a month, and then over the last like 2 weeks, I've been getting like 1 to 2 a day. So anyway, if you guys are enjoying this, make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell for notifications, like the video, comment below what you guys want to see next, and who your favorite manga artists are. Who are you guys taking cues from? Like I said, I take a lot of cues from Shinichiro Watanabe, Miura, Kentaro Miura. Another great one. I'm actually looking more and more at his work since he has passed. Takeshi Obata, for sure. I actually made a little list. Let's see. Where did I put it? Because the paper on this sketchbook's thin, though, it does kind of come out easier, especially since I tend to fold it backwards. Kentaro Miura, Tight Kube, Frank Frazetta. Of course, he's not a manga artist, but goddamn, that guy's work. So, anyway, that's it for Studio Sketch Sessions. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.